They may not wear crowns, but they are the Filipinos Europe is waiting for. Before dawn even breaks in Manila, thousands of Filipino hands are already starting their workday, thousands of kilometers away from home. They are nurses in Frankfurt, bus drivers in Oslo, chefs in Rome, and hotel cleaners braving the Swiss winter. Their names rarely make the news, yet they keep Europe's hospitals, kitchens, and cities running every single day. And in 2025, the doors are opening wider than ever before. This video will take you across 10 European countries that are seeking Filipinos, not just for their skills, but for their spirit. Hardworking, adaptable, and never giving up. If you're dreaming of a better life, or searching for a new path for your family, watch until the end. And if you're proud to be Filipino, leave a message. Ako rin. Thank you for journeying with Pinoy Global Explorer through the stories of Filipinos around the world. 10. Malta. In the heart of the Mediterranean lies Malta, small in size, yet quietly becoming one of the first gateways opening for Filipino workers in 2025. After the pandemic, Malta's tourism industry bounced back faster than anyone expected. Hotels, restaurants, and cruise lines are short on staff, and Filipino workers known for their skill, discipline, and adaptability are now among the top choices for employers. The most common jobs include hotel housekeeping, restaurant service, kitchen assistants, and domestic work. Average monthly earnings range from 1,100 to 1,400 euros, around 66,000 to 84,000 peso, with some companies offering free meals or accommodation. But what truly makes Malta special isn't just the pay, it's the way people are treated. Many Filipinos here say they feel respected, as if they're part of the system itself, even though language and cultural differences can still be challenging. However, it's important to note that Malta is small. Rental costs are rising quickly, and the number of work visas limited each year. So if you're considering it, prepare well, gather information, complete your documents, and connect with the Filipino community before making your move. From a country few expected, Malta is becoming the first stop for many Filipinos entering Europe, a place where they don't just work, but rediscover their worth in the simplest of jobs. 9. Czech Republic. It's not as bustling as London, nor as glamorous as Paris, yet the Czech Republic is quietly becoming Europe's new production engine. And with that comes a very real need: workers. In 2025, the country faces an urgent demand for labor in construction, warehouse logistics, and assembly manufacturing. Filipinos, well known for their discipline and quick learning, are now being sought after for jobs that require endurance and precision. Carlos, 29, from Davao, is one of hundreds of Filipino workers at a construction site on the outskirts of Prague. He started with a salary of 21,000 Czech koruna per month, around 52,000 peso, with free accommodation included. Not high, but stable. I'm not good at English, and I don't speak Czech at all. But I work fast, take few breaks, and never complain. They appreciate me for that, Carlos shares. Still, the Czech Republic isn't an easy choice. The language is unfamiliar, winters can be harsh, and the paperwork can be discouraging. Some workers, especially those without clear contracts or legal guidance, may find themselves in temporary or unprotected jobs. Even so, with its affordable cost of living, expanding job market, and practical opportunities, the Czech Republic is becoming a strong launchpad, especially for Filipinos willing to start from nothing, but determined never to stop there. Germany. As the largest economy in Europe, Germany doesn't just need engineers and specialists. It's also searching for people willing to care, serve, and keep every small gear of its vast system running. And Filipinos are already there quietly, but steadfastly. Since 2023, Germany has expanded its recruitment programs for nurses, caregivers, and workers in transport and hospitality. With an aging population, the country needs hands that are both skilled and compassionate. Filipinos are among the top candidates considered for these roles. Lisa, 37, a former nurse from Cebu, now works at a nursing home in Frankfurt. She earns around 2,800 euros a month, about 168,000 peso, and receives support for German language training when she first arrived. The job is exhausting. I care for patients and study at the same time to keep up with the medical standards here. But I feel that my skills are finally being put to good use, Lisa shares, her eyes slightly red after a night shift. Still, the emotional pressure is real. Cultural differences, technical language, and heavy workloads can easily lead to burnout without a strong support system or a close-knit community. Even so, with its clear benefits, professional environment, and transparent career growth, Germany remains a dream destination, especially for skilled Filipinos who seek not just a job, but true recognition for their work. 7. United Kingdom. At 6 in the morning in a quiet corner of London, a Filipino woman in a dark blue uniform steps out of her lodging. The sky is still dim, the air cold, and she's about to begin a 12-hour shift at a care home. Her name is May, and she is not alone. The United Kingdom has long shared a strong connection with Filipinos in the healthcare sector. After the pandemic, the demand for nurses, caregivers, and service staff in hospitals, hotels, and logistics rose sharply. In 2025, that demand continues, especially in cities like London, Birmingham, and Manchester. Average salaries for these positions range from £2,000 to £2,500 per month, about 150,000 to 188,000 peso plus national health insurance and visa sponsorship from employers. But life in the UK isn't easy. Rent is high. The pace is fast. And without family or a strong community around, loneliness can creep in, especially during those late-night walks home after work. May says, "I do this for my daughter. She's about to enter college. I don't need much just for her not to have to leave home like I did." Despite the challenges, many Filipinos continue to choose the UK for its familiar language, structured work environment, and realistic pathways to permanent residency. With resilience and an unbreakable spirit, Filipinos in the United Kingdom are not just workers, they are an essential part of the nation's healthcare and service system. 6. Italy. Step into an apartment in Rome one afternoon, and you might hear a gentle voice saying, "Mangia, mangia." It's not an Italian voice, it's a Filipino caregiver reminding an elderly local to eat. In Italy, Filipinos are more than just workers. They keep the rhythm of daily life alive in thousands of households. In 2025, the demand for caregivers, domestic helpers, and part-time cleaners continues to rise, especially in cities like Rome, Milan, and Florence. With an aging population and shifting family structures, Italy increasingly depends on those with patience and genuine care qualities Filipinos carry naturally in their hearts. Monthly earnings range from 900 to 1,300 euros, around 54,000 to 78,000 peso, with many workers receiving free meals and accommodation. The pay isn't high, but it's steady, and many manage to save if they live simply. Gina, 46, from Iloilo, has been working in Italy for 8 years. She lives with the family she serves, caring for an 87-year-old grandmother. "I've been here so long that her grandchildren call me Zia, it means aunt," Gina says with a smile that softens when she talks about home. One major challenge in Italy is that many Filipinos work without formal contracts, leaving them vulnerable when disputes arise. Knowing the labor laws and staying connected with the Filipino community can make a crucial difference. Despite the struggles, Filipinos in Italy remain resilient. They don't just clean houses or care for the elderly, they preserve kindness and connection between generations, something even many local families have started to lose. 5. The Netherlands. In the Netherlands, everything runs with clockwork precision. Trains arrive on time. Deliveries move fast. And behind that smooth logistics system are people who never stop working. In 2025, the Netherlands needs more international workers than ever, especially in logistics, warehousing, food packaging, and supply chain operations. Filipinos, known for their attention to detail, discipline, and teamwork, are increasingly sought after by major companies such as DHL, Albert Heijn, and regional distribution centers. Typical monthly earnings range from 2,000 to 2,400 euros, around 120,000 to 144,000 peso, with some employers offering shared housing or transport support. However, life in the Netherlands isn't always easy. The cost of living is high, especially in Amsterdam and Rotterdam. Without company housing, most of your income may go toward rent and insurance. Long winters and unpredictable weather also pose a challenge for newcomers. The bright side is the country's professional work culture, clear labor laws, and strong worker protections. The Filipino community in the Netherlands, though relatively small, is tightly knit, organizing gatherings and offering support to fellow Kababayans. If you're someone who values transparency, modern living, and doesn't mind working hard through rotating shifts, the Netherlands is worth considering. Here, no one cares where you come from. What matters is how you work, and for that, they'll give you the respect you deserve. 4. Austria. In Vienna, everything feels orderly and calm. The streets are spotless. Trams arrive on time, and the air is crisp and clean. Yet for many Filipinos working here, behind that classical beauty lies a quietness that's hard to name. In 2025, Austria continues to expand its hiring of international workers in hotel housekeeping, domestic help, elderly care, and driving services. With its high standard of living, strong healthcare system, and solid worker benefits, it's becoming an appealing destination for many. Average monthly pay ranges from 1,800 to 2,300 euros, about 108,000 to 138,000 peso, depending on the job and city. Many contracts include accommodation and health insurance, allowing workers to save most of their income. Anne, 31, from Pampanga, works in housekeeping at a hotel in Salzburg. She says, "It's peaceful here, not as noisy as Manila. But sometimes it's so peaceful that it feels empty." That's a common feeling among Filipinos in Austria, living in a good place, but missing the warmth of home. Since the Filipino community here is still small, fitting in depends entirely on one's own effort, and that's not easy for everyone. Still, for those who are independent, professional, and looking for long-term stability, Austria offers safety, structure, and a future worth building. Here, you might not hear Tagalog every day, but you'll learn to stand tall and grow in ways you never expected. 3. Switzerland. When people think of Switzerland, they picture snowy mountains, luxury watches, and spotless streets. But behind that perfection are jobs that not everyone here wants to do, and Filipinos are carrying them out with quiet dignity. In 2025, Switzerland continues to seek workers in hospitality, housekeeping, elderly care, and technical construction. With its demanding service standards, the country looks for people who are precise, resilient, and service-minded, 3 qualities Filipinos have long proven through their work. The average salary is high, from 3,000 to 3,800 Swiss francs per month, about 195,000 to 247,000 peso. But so is the cost of living. Rent, insurance, and food can take up much of one's income, unless housing is provided by the employer. Joy, 50, works as a hotel room attendant in Zurich. Every morning I clean 5-star rooms, sometimes with a view of breathtaking snow-covered peaks. But in my heart, I'm thinking about my daughter's tuition back in Baguio, she says softly. Switzerland is a dream, but one meant for those who can plan carefully, endure solitude, and keep their hands working with discipline and grace. Here, silence is golden, and patience is what will take you far. For Filipinos, that's nothing new. We've always worked quietly but with pride. 2. Sweden. If there's a place that feels both cold and heartwarming at the same time, it's Sweden. This Nordic country is known for having one of the best social welfare systems in the world, yet its quietness can make anyone far from home feel smaller than ever. In 2025, Sweden is actively recruiting foreign workers in elderly care, early childhood education, technical trades, and public transport. With an aging population, a local workforce shortage, and a vast social system that relies on compassion and consistency, the country is turning to people who care deeply about their work. Filipinos, with their strong sense of responsibility and caregiving experience, are warmly welcomed by both public and private institutions across Sweden. Average monthly salaries range from 2,600 to 3,200 euros, about 156,000 to 192,000 peso. The government offers free Swedish language lessons, and many employers provide temporary housing for foreign staff during their first months. Still, not everyone adjusts easily. Winters last up to 6 months, sunlight is scarce, and locals tend to be reserved and private. Many Filipinos describe feeling an emptiness in the beginning, despite the good pay and comfortable living. Mark, 28, a caregiver in Uppsala, shares, "Everything here is complete. But I miss the noise. I miss home. I even miss being squeezed inside a jeepney." Sweden is for those who seek more than just work. It's for those who want to build a new life, one that balances stability, kindness, and the quiet beauty of belonging. 1. Scotland. In the northern part of the United Kingdom, where misty mountains stretch across the horizon, Scotland isn't the most common destination for Filipinos. But perhaps that's exactly why opportunities here are opening wide, for those willing to go a little farther. In 2025, Scotland faces a growing shortage of workers in public healthcare, hospitality, logistics, and public transport. Cities like Glasgow, Edinburgh, and Aberdeen are running programs to attract foreign workers, many of them from Asia. Karen, 33, from Bihal, drives a public bus in Glasgow. She's one of the very few Filipino women in this line of work. Every day, she carries hundreds of passengers through the old streets wrapped in Scotland's signature cold mist. "I never thought I'd be behind the wheel at a place this cold. But I want my child to see that her mother can do anything," Karen says, adjusting her mirror before another long shift. Jobs like hers pay between £2,400 and £2,800 per month, around 180,000 to 210,000 peso. Clear benefits, fair working hours, and a respectful work environment make Scotland an appealing choice. Still, because the Filipino community here is small, loneliness is part of the journey. Yet that's also what highlights the courage, determination, and quiet pride of those who came first. Scotland may be the last stop on today's list, but for many Filipinos, it's the first step toward an entirely new chapter. 10 countries, 10 stories, and thousands of Filipinos still working quietly, sending money home, and keeping the light of family hope burning bright. Not all of them earn big. Not all live easy lives. But whether in a small rented room in Prague or among the snowy peaks of Zurich, they all share something in common. They are living symbols of resilience, honesty, and love for home. You might be in the Philippines, or maybe you're working somewhere half a world away. But if you've ever sacrificed for a dream, then this story is yours too. Leave a comment. Ako rin. If you've ever felt proud to be Filipino, no matter where you are. And if you know someone thinking about working in Europe, share this video with them. Because sometimes, the right story at the right time can change the way we prepare for a long journey ahead. We'll continue to tell the stories of Filipinos around the world. Thank you for watching and for listening.